Snowtrekker tent. I haven't had it out in a long time. It looks like it's in good shape. I don't know how I got it in that bag. Huh. Anyway, I found another old video. This was back from 2014, I believe. I was staying in my lower desert camp, I called it, and I ran into some guys hunting some desert bighorn sheep. They said they'd seen a lion track up a canyon up above my place there on the other side of the river. So the next morning I got up bright and early and went up there.
Truck is way down there. I got an early start this morning. We'd heard back off over in that canyon down there some sheep hunters had hit a lion track. I didn't bring a mule, just hiking. I came up over the top here, just trying to figure out travel route.
To see if I could figure out where that lion, well, I knew where they told me where they'd seen the track. And I thought the lion was going one way, so that's where I went. Dogs I don't have now. I had HB, Missy, Lily, Solo, and Shine. Can't remember how this thing goes. Anyway, when we got up top, we hiked. I didn't take a mule, I went on foot because I didn't think it'd be that long of a day. We hiked, when we got up top, sure enough, the dogs hit a track.
That's where I thought we should. Solo started it right there. But this is where I wanted to go. The problem is we got a trapper working this. Yeah, this is a lion. That little puppy's barking, but he don't know what he's barking at. Or she don't. Sheila. That's Missy with this kind of a squall. Solo's got the ball mouth right there. See if they can figure it out. That's one of those quarter Airedales that kind of just making a lot of noise. That stinking booger ain't paying no attention. I don't know why. See what happened. Oh, they found it over there. I better go.
And they started opening up. They kind of balled up and stood on their head for a little while, but they, you know, the good dogs were all opening up and wanting to trail. I had Sheila Puppy with me. She was just a puppy at that time. I still call her Sheila Puppy. I had like 10 dogs with me. I had 5 doing all the work, which is about right. So they all started trailing, and they trailed right up over the top of this little saddle and hit, and then went right, we're trailing just right down below a bluff face right there, which is just perfect.
Whatever it was, traveled right along the face of this bluff right here. They're still trailing it. You can kind of see the country I'm in. And then went right up that chute right there, which is just about right. There they go.
Anyway, they trailed around. I kept looking for a track and I couldn't ever find a track, but I just had the feeling the whole time that we were trailing the lion backward. Anyway, we moved it on around that face and then through a big old saddle. I was on foot and we were, you know, we were moving pretty slow, not very fast. And I jumped a bunch of bighorn sheep, desert bighorn.
I wish I had a camera that zooms. Those aren't deer, those are those desert bighorn sheep right there. There's one up front. I can see him through the scope of my gun. He's a big old nice ram. Damn, I need a camera with a good optical zoom on it.
I carried that little Verb camera around with me, and sound is terrible on it. Had no internal stabilization and no zoom, of course. And there was a nice ram. I remember now. Just go like this. Been a long time since I put this together. Really not that hard to build. It's a floorless tent. It doesn't have a floor in it. Just totally all right by me. That ain't gonna work. That thing's bigger than I remember.
Then I remember
one of the keys to this whole thing is the way the frame sets up. You know, there's no rigidity to the sidewall. So it's got these little sleeves. Oh, okay, I got it. I messed up. This thing has to go in here. This little sleeve goes right here, and then you pull out the sidewalls. Pull it out, put your stake down, and then you can tighten it up with this little doodad right here. Should have a hammer. Ha, there you go. It's got a little one in the back. I don't know what that's for. I bet it's something to keep the walls rigid on the side, maybe. And then when you do that, and when you pull those sides out like that, when you go inside, it just makes it seem so much more roomier. Now, I hadn't put this tent up 7 years. My new Snowtrekker tent. I know when I put it up there a few times, you get where you can knock this sucker up in about 15 minutes. I tried to set it up one time before it was after dark, and I just messed with it a little bit. I came and set it up tonight. Took me, shoot, I bet it didn't take me 20 minutes, and I didn't even know what I was doing. Next time I bet I can do it in 5 or 10 minutes. Then you go inside. See, you can stand up in it. Only got one problem. I got 2 extra pieces. Where would they go? No idea. I know they go somewhere. Anyway, dogs trailed and they've got down in the canyon, and
I got 10 hounds out here. I got 8 that are opening and cold trailing. I got 2 litter mates, Booger and P. And P's, of course, P's a female, and Booger's a big old male, and he's real gamey, but he's not really wanting to cold trail. I mean, I think that's a lion track right there. I'm not convinced we're on the right end of this. Some of those, I think some of those dogs, like, oh, those quarter Airedales, they're a little babbly. They didn't use their mouth for the longest time, but sometimes they had a little lose right there. They can't figure out where that lion went right there. I wish I just had a little bit of zoom on this camera. So they're gonna come back there. HB says she's got it, going right down. And that makes sense, don't it? Little puppy. She's just a little pup. She goes with them. She barks every now and then. She don't know what she's barking at, but she's barking. That's the puppy. She has no clue. I don't guess she does. Maybe she smells something. She's barking because she's lost. They're milling around, and just, it was getting worse and worse. They were babbling. I had those quarter Airedales on the track, and they were babbling a little bit. Sheila was just barking because she's a little bit excited. They just couldn't move it anymore. Finally, Jazz came back to me, and they all started coming back to me. So I hiked down there and started going down that canyon. Jazz came back to me. They're milling around. They're all kind of following each other, waiting for another one to find it. I bet if I moved them back down into that little canyon off there, right there, we could be on the wrong end of it. I'm gonna move them down into that canyon. Got down there on the bottom, I was milling around, and looked down, bam, there's a big old lion track. Big old Tom. I've been trailing him the wrong way. That kind of limestone rock up on top, tough on a dog's nose. Makes it bleed when they're cold trailing like that. Missy, come here, let me look at your nose. The length of yours. No, yeah, a little bit on that. She usually rubs her nose right on the rocks. Come here, Missy. Let me see your nose. No, it's not you. I think we're on the wrong side of it. The wrong end of it. I got disgusted. That was the end of the video and on the mountain. Got back to the truck and typical, hey. I turn on the camera to just do my little documentation, say where I went, what happened. All right, today was December 16th. It was pretty good. I'll get out. It was a long hike, but I think I'll head up. I'll go over there maybe tomorrow morning. If I was on the wrong end of that track, that lion might have come right off through that peak right there. And I thought I was gonna be able to come back the next day, and I couldn't come back the next day. So I came back 2 days later, maybe 3 days later. Anyway, and it was late. I didn't get an early start. I had some things to take care of, and I got up there, and I had been up there, and I was driving out, and I ran into the bighorn sheep biologist. And all that country, they snare that country for lions because they're trying to reestablish those bighorn sheep. I was coming out and I ran into him. He seen I had a dog box, had a bunch of hounds, and he stopped me and we talked for a little while. He asked, "You been catching any lions or trailing any?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I trailed a nice Tom here a few days ago." And he said, "What day was that?" And I said, "That was on a Tuesday, I believe." I said, "But I was trailing backwards. We trailed, you know, for 2 hours. And time we got back over there where I could find a track, I realized we were backwards, and by then it was late, so I just loaded up.
meant to come back the next day, but I couldn't come back. He said, that was on a Tuesday? And I said, yes, sir, Tuesday. He looked at me, he said, we snared a big tom up that other canyon straight across from you on Monday. I said, on Monday? He said, yeah, we snared him on Monday. I said, and I was there on Tuesday? And he said, yeah. And I said, you mean I was trailing a day-old lion track backwards of a lion that was already dead? We both kind of got a chuckle out of that. Anyway, look at that tent. That's pretty nice. It's my mobile camp. I don't know what these pieces are for. No clue. Home away from home. We got these front ones too. I'll pull out. That's nice. I forgot. I think these little poles go right here. You stake this one out. Keeps that wall a little bit straighter. All I have is a gold one, which is longer, and then I have a little short black one, which is shorter. Oh, dumb me. The gold one goes right here. It's okay. It's all right. Second grader could probably build this thing, but I'm having a hard time. The gold one went in the back. This one goes right here. The gold one goes in here, I suppose. And then, check this out. I bought this My Buddy heater. It's the second one I had. I had one that I used in my camper trailer up at camp during the winter time to supplement the heat, because my wave heater I had in there didn't heat it very good. So I bought this one to take with me, and that's been 6 years ago because I haven't been able to go. Now I can go. So as long as you're truck camping, you're staying right there out of the trailer. My Buddy heater. Put this sucker in there, and then I got 5-gallon bottle of propane. Heat the tent up, go to bed, turn your heater off, sleep in your good sleeping bag all night, get up in the morning, turn your heater on, let it warm up that tent, get dressed nice. I also have a wood burning stove that goes in there. I gotta find it. It's after the move, it's tucked away somewhere. But anyway, this is a lot easier when you're just, when you're kind of in a hurry. I'll be back. I got a bag I bought for it too online. If you liked the video and you want to see more of them, hit that subscribe button. Be right down here. If you want to see more videos like this, hit one of these buttons right up here. And if you like it, crush that like button, comment below, and share it if you want to. That's it. Thanks for watching.